Hey everybody, welcome. This is Dawn from the KFP Podcast. Welcome you to the first ever DB's Comic Talk. What we're basically doing here is me and the guys are kind of doing some stuff on our own, since I'm the only one who really even reads books anymore. Comics, that is. I figured I'd do a couple reviews of some stuff I've been reading, as Justin and Ken and the other guys are going to do some other individual collaboration on here. Still doing the podcast, but wanted to do some other stuff. So kicking off this one with what I'm currently reading now. If you listen to the show, you know I'm a big Rebirth DC guy. And there's a good series going on right now called The Button, about the Watchmen tie-in. Started in Batman. Issue 21 kicks it off. Very cool cover, hologram cover with Batman and Flash on it, both holding the button. And this book was really good. Just so you know, this is going to contain some spoilers. So if you haven't read issue 21 yet, or Flash 21, maybe stop listening, go read it, get out there, go to buy it somewhere, come back, listen, give me your thoughts on it as I'm about to give you mine. First thing I liked really in the beginning of this is they're doing the tie-ins right away with what they kicked off in the Rebirth special. So right away you see, which I believe is Saturn Girl here, referencing the Legion, as she's like watching a hockey game. You see the button in the background too and everything. It looks like she's remembering that the Legion was out there, the Legion of Superheroes. It looks like they're going to maybe tie that in finally and do something with that. So that's cool. And then the book starts off and you have Batman looking at the button, starting it off. I guess him and Flash have been collaborating, working on this together, trying to figure out what's going on. It's really cool the way they did it, because they put like a hockey fight going on in the background, and they have like Batman actually like he's watching hockey, but looking at the button, working with it, and it starts to react when it gets close to Psycho Pirate's mask, which he had from the Bane series not too long ago, when he got that from, and he sees a glimpse of his dad, which I thought was kind of cool. It was his dad from the Flashpoint reference. And he calls Flash in, and then, excuse me, something that I saw that was really cool is it starts like a countdown from a minute down. And in this minute is basically Reverse Flash shows up from the Flashpoint, because he died in Flashpoint, so it was like cool to see him back again. He starts beating the hell out of Batman, and they start, each panel is a second of the minute countdown, and it was really unique because in that 1 minute you were seeing Batman trying to survive against a very deadly speedster, and how he was going to do it. And it really stretched out a minute into like a very almost like long, excruciating pages to watch, because he's really getting the shit kicked out of him here, and you're trying to figure out what's going on and how he's going to last a minute. It doesn't seem like a long time, but when they spaced it out like this, it was really interesting the way he done it. He flew around the Batcave, he messed things up, he actually goes in and tears up the letter that Batman's father gave to him from Flashpoint, which really pisses Bruce off. He ends up stabbing him in the foot, and typical Batman moves, gets some moves on the speedster, beats him up a little bit, attacks him, you know. It basically ends, you get like this whole breakdown to the final scene here where he's basically waiting for Flash to show up. And Flash never shows up because he was like sidetracked by stuff that was going on in the hockey. I tried to go save the hockey fight that was going on, something weird like that. But it looks like Reverse Flash is sort of like teleported away, which again looks a lot like the Dr. Manhattan energy that you see from Rebirth books. And when he comes back, you don't know how long he's actually gone. As a speedster, he could have been gone for years, days, minutes, anything. You don't really know. That's what they don't really show you. But it appears at the end of the book where he exclaims that he saw God, and then he sort of evaporated and destroyed. So it's a very cool way they did this book. I felt it was very unique, the way, the anxiety, the build-up of how this was building up. You're waiting for Barry to get there. He actually never gets there until it's too late, and Batman's like beat to hell, and keep calling him Zoom. Reverse Flash is dead. So I thought it was a very good start to the Button book. This is something I've been looking forward to as a DC reader, and reading all these Rebirth tie-ins. You've been waiting for this Watchmen stuff to kick off, and you know there's something special about this button. You don't really know what it is. We obviously know that it's the comedian, but you don't really know what's going on with it. So and how they're going to tie it in. And then it jumps in this week to Flash 21, which again, very cool cover with zoom on it, sort of reaching for the button and blowing up. And when you get to this one, which I thought was cool off the started off, being a big Justice Society fan, as you see they have Johnny Thunder here, and he's again in the mental hospital. He's old. He's talking about the Justice Society and how it's his fault they went away. So again, each of these books, which I hope are kicking off, tying in these old stories that you didn't see before. So I thought that was pretty cool. And another cool scene that opens up in Flash book is Barry here basically doing, which one of his cooler things is doing a crime scene. He's working a crime scene, which is the Batcave, and he's looking at all the evidence, trying to study it, talking about like how he used to do that. And it's pretty cool because he's trying to figure this out, and obviously he goes back to talk to Bruce, and you get to see a good dynamic between these two, who are both like really good detectives, talking about like what happened. Bruce kind of tells him that he saw a ghost of his dad, and Barry kind of explains that's probably his dad from Flashpoint. I like the relationship they're doing with Batman and Flash here. There's not like arguing between them. It's both like their general understanding of what went on. Of course, Barry blaming himself for the Flashpoint stuff, and Bruce kind of talking him out of it. It's a good mixture and a good dynamic of how these two characters interact together. Both strong characters, both cool in their own right. Then we see Flash move ahead, and he's going to actually try the old cosmic treadmill again, which I thought was funny. They brought that up to go back in time, more time travel, which that's all really Flash seems to do anymore. He's going to go back and try and figure out how this happened, what happened, where Zoom went, or Zoom, again with the Zoom, I guess it's the same person, but where Reverse Flash went and what they did. And of course, Batman shows up, tells him, "You're not going to go along, I'm going to hitch a ride," which I thought was funny because he's really beat up. But again, typical Batman, he says, "I've been beat up worse." A lot of cool things in the background, too, you see in the images, and when they show you all this stuff, like the star is there, and a bunch of other cool little tidbits in the background. You knew this wasn't going to go well. They went through the past, and they basically looked at different things that went on, and you saw different variations of the Justice League that they don't remember, things they thought never happened. This is all Flashpoint stuff that got wiped out. This is New 52 stuff that got wiped out. So I think it's cool they're going to actually talk about what happened here and maybe show you that they're going to start remembering things, like how Superman's remembering now and how Wally's remembering stuff now. And then it ends badly, the treadmill wrecks, and again, looks a lot like Dr. Manhattan. Maybe had something to do with the blue energy. And they wind up in this nice little Batcave that Bruce thinks, of course, is his Batcave when he first started off. But then right away where this one was kind of going. Flash looked really concerned. They end up in Flashpoint, which I don't understand how that happened. I don't know. I thought Flashpoint was wasted away or changed, but apparently they end up there. And you knew the last scene was coming, but it was still a cool scene. You see Bruce face to face with his dad from Flashpoint, which I thought was pretty cool. Both kind of looking stunned. So this will be interesting to see what they do in the next two books. I think I'll review the next two books coming up. Interested to see what they do for the covers and how they wrap this all up. I hope by the end of this you see maybe some kind of a Watchmen appearance. I would hope they bring somebody in by now, whether it's the comedian or a Dr. Manhattan reference or something. It would be interesting to see what they do as they move forward. But so far, pretty good. I really enjoyed both of them. Looking forward to reading the next two. If you're not reading Rebirth, I think you're missing out. You need to go check it out. It's very good. Stop at your local shop and pick something up. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. And thanks for listening. We'll see you again in a couple weeks. Later.